Hello, my name is Richard Moon. I'm a retired band director and music teacher here in Summerville, South Carolina. Right now I'm kind of waiting for Dorian to show up, and while I'm just kind of sitting around, I thought I would maybe share an idea that I used to use back when I was teaching elementary music. As a band director, I did use tizzling a lot as a technique, first to help the students, of course, prepare and practice their music. And the other thing is I liked using tizzling as a way of working on or cleaning up attacks and releases. When I became a music teacher, I put together keyboard, guitar, and recorder ensembles. I figured out how to incorporate tizzling into my music classes, and that's what I wanted to share with you. I came up with the idea of a recorder mute, and later on I also came up with a different mute that I used for ukuleles and guitars. But anyway, the recorder mute is very inexpensive. If you can afford a roll of masking tape, you've got it. And all you have to do is take the masking tape, take strips, and attach it around the recorder so it's covering the tone hole. Now, if the tone hole is covered, then you'll get something like this. Now, if you didn't hear anything, that's the whole point. Okay? Now, what I would do is, first off, you got some obvious advantages. First off, it helps with classroom management, and it helps you deal with music class with what I call a lack of chaos. Now, as a strategy for the guitar and recorder, I like starting out using the mute on. Okay, as I pass out the recorders or guitars, they can start playing immediately, practicing on the music we're going to play, and it didn't bother me in the least. Okay, and then when I started trying to give instructions, they could hear my voice. Let's say put the guitar or put the recorder down. You know, they'd be able to hear me, not because I had to yell over their playing. Now, as you work on an exercise, I would initially evaluate the students visually. Okay, students that were doing it correct, I would then go up to them and I would very quickly just pull the tape back. Okay, now I still have attached on the back, so let's say the kid's messing around when they shouldn't be and they're making or playing when I'm talking, then I would just go back and close it up and they'd have to re-earn their sound privilege, if you will. Now, once you pull it back, of course, then you get the regular recorder back. What I liked about this is as we continue working on the exercise, the students would hear what the exercise was supposed to sound like. It wouldn't be just all this mass confusion of sound. And even since there are only a few people playing, as you're working on the exercise, I could still talk and model and, oh, don't forget about the finger on the C here, and they could hear me, you know, even as the music was being modeled for them. Okay, and then as more students would pick it up, I would then unmute them, and when about maybe halfway through, and half the kids had their recorders unmuted, I would then go ahead and the people that I unmuted first, I would give them these cheap gold medallions, you know, the kind you get at Oriental Trading Company. Kids will love them. And they were just for that class, but they would be designated as teacher assistants or tutors. And then what I would do is I would sign these tutors an apprentice. And I would do some other activity or something similar, like a spin-off on that exercise for the rest of the class, giving the tutors a chance to work with the students I assign them one-on-one. And then, of course, eventually put it all back together. Sometimes you have those students that never really get it till they get that one-on-one, you know, help and supervision. But this way, I always had the best people available on that skill working and helping the students that still needed help. There's several other ways I use the recorder mute as well, but again, I just thought I'd share you the idea. And again, if you can afford a roll of masking tape and a teach recorder in your classroom, you might want to give it a try. So, have a great school year. Take care.